business trip.
Did the people move around?
It does tingle a little bit. Oh god, there's a Wookiee on the screen. Hey everybody, it's Matt with the DPI podcast. Over on the other screen, it should be Peter with Princess of the Mouse Disney Travel. It is, a much hairier version of Peter with Princess of the Mouse Disney Travel.
I don't appreciate that bold comment, Matt.
And it is top 3 time. If you've been here before, thanks for coming back. Obviously, we did something right. If you haven't been here before, what we're going to do is we're going to pull a chip out of this bag here. We're going to have 20 seconds to come up with our 3 favorite or least favorite items from that category. So tonight's category is going to be... We've got a strong crowd tonight. So if you guys have your answers to this, definitely put them in the chat. We are doing number 9 tonight. Number 9. Ooh, this could be a tough one. Maybe not. Your favorite restaurants at Disney Springs.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Not too bad. Plenty to choose
from. I
from.
got dibs on my number 1, and I swear to God, if you take it, I'm going to come through this freaking monitor. Because you wouldn't even know about it if it wasn't for me, Matthew Heidel.
Do you want to go to Disney? Contact me at Princess of the Mouse Travel, and I'd love to work with you on your amazing itineraries.
All right, top 3 time favorite restaurants at Disney Springs. Peter, I will let you go first so you can get to your number 1 first. So.
That's right. I didn't even think about it because I was like so fired up about my number 1. Let me think real quick about my number 3. I definitely have 2 in case you steal the other one. Here, I'm going to go with this for number 3. CityWorks.
There you go. I like CityWorks, yeah.
Yeah. So CityWorks, it's kind of like your traditional American fare. Where it is if you're like looking at the lake, it's going to be more towards the Cirque du Soleil side of things. I'm trying to get my north, south, east, west map wise, but
yeah, it's right out by the theater for Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah, so you kind of leave the bus depot, head left towards Cirque du Soleil, walk for a little while, and you'll find CityWorks down there. And here's why I really like CityWorks. So it's your traditional American fare. They've got a little bit of barbecue, some burgers, some chicken, some all that stuff. And so when you're on vacation, it's really good to just kind of sit down with something familiar, but something well done and familiar. And then the other thing that it has is walls of TVs and tons of beverages, adult beverages, of wide variety of tastes. If you are interested in having a beer, CityWorks is a fantastic place to go for all of those reasons that I just gave. And in terms of the pricing of it, it's pretty mild.
It's not bad. It's not bad at all.
Right. So I really, really enjoy CityWorks. So I'm going to go ahead and go with that for my number 3, although I'm sure at some point I am going to sit here and go, gosh darn it, I should have done this or that or this, especially if you don't include some of these other ones I'm thinking about. So yeah, I might have some bonus ones, but that's never happened before.
All right, so for my number 3, I'm going to go with a burger joint to start off, and I'm going to go with the Edison. The Edison, fantastic restaurant on kind of the backside of Disney Springs. Like a turn-of-the-century steampunk style decor with a speakeasy feel, depending on where you're sitting. So there's multiple bars. This place is very well known for its drink selection, but on the hard alcohol side and not necessarily on the beer side. So if you're looking for some specialty hard alcohol drinks, Edison's a great place to go. The other thing that they have are some really top-end, top-notch burgers. We're talking about buffalo burgers. We're talking about high-end cuts of just different styles of meats and that kind of stuff. But it also tends to work well with the kids as well. So, we both travel with kids quite a bit, and the Edison has a good kids menu and a good transition menu for your older kids that may not have those experienced taste buds yet. So really good place to go and get some food. Again, like Peter was saying, CityWorks in that medium price range. The Edison is as well. When you're talking about a burger, is probably going to be, the high-end burgers are on the low $20 range, and the low-end burgers are in the $15 to $17 range. So really good there. And then your drinks, depending on what it is, all kinds of pricing on drinks. That's where you're going to spend your money. Another cool thing about the Edison is if you go on the weekends, usually Friday and Saturday nights, they'll have live entertainment downstairs. And it's usually like a jazz style, and it's like different acts that are singing Disney songs in very unique styles. So yeah, it really cool atmosphere, really cool building. So my number 3 is the Edison. So Peter, let's go ahead, let's get into our number 2s.
Yeah, Edison's a good call. Really quick though, read the top 3 again real quick.
Favorite restaurants at Disney Springs.
Okay, I'm going to break the mold a little bit because it's one of my go-to. It is one of my must-do things at Disney Springs. So we can argue semantics over restaurant or not restaurant, but I'm going to do the top of the Coke Lounge as. Can I do that as my number 2?
I guess. I
can't.
Are you going to do it even though it's a huge letdown now?
You know, it was funny because that was going to be part of my discussion of it, but I still think it's like a really, really unique thing. I mean, I can fall off. You know, here I'm going to fall off of this. Just let me go grab the name real quick. Where are you? Where are you? Yeah, no. Yes, there it is. Yes, it was this one, right? Oh, we ate here last time, and I just want to make sure that it is the one that I am thinking of, so that I'm not misspeaking. I really can't do the Coke Lounge. Are you sure I can't do the Coke Lounge?
You can do the Coke Lounge if you want. I mean, I'm not gonna hold it against you. I'm just you're giving away ability to highlight some of the fantastic restaurants that are on in this property.
You know, all right. Well, I still have a feeling that you are going to put this other one in there, so I'm not going to take it from you. So I am going to go with Paradiso 37.
Okay.
All right, for my number 2. And Paradiso 37 surprised the ever-living bejesus out of me because my wife and we were down there in June, and we just decided to head over to Disney Springs for whatever reason. And
Hold on. You're in glitch mode. Hold on. Peter, and there we go. No, maybe.
Am I back?
Maybe. You look better now, I think.
I'm back now?
You're back. Okay. There you go.
Okay. All right. So, my wife and I were down there. I remember why I was in Disney Springs because we asked our kids what souvenirs they wanted because they weren't with us that time. And my son said Legos because he knows the Lego store in Disney Springs is one of the best stocked Lego stores in the world. So he knew I would be able to get the out-of-stock stuff from around us. So anyway, so we're there. We decide we're hungry. We grabbed a couple different reservations, but then we ultimately settled on Paradiso 37 over at Disney Springs. And we went in, and I was instantly amazed at the menu and the portion sizes and the environment. It was just kind of I don't know, imagine like Cabana Latin beach house type Central America type thing.
Okay.
And right, that's kind of the decor of it, and it was absolutely fantastic. I always judge a place on their ability to put together fish tacos, and the fish tacos that came out of this kitchen, I'm not joking. If I go to a new restaurant that I've never been to before and they have fish tacos on the menu, you better believe that's what I'm ordering. And I am going to judge your entire restaurant off of your ability to put together a flavorful but not flaky, delicious, mouth-watering bite in a fish taco. 120%. But on top of that, they also have this Nashville hot chicken sandwich that is so stinking good. It's got some Monterey cheese and some hot sauce and some ranch dressing. And they got po' boys, they've got salmon, and all of it's in like a decent range, like a low to mid 20s, maybe upwards into the low 30s for, the steaks and the salmons. But in terms of all of the other stuff, the chicken sandwiches and the half chicken and the po' boys and the fish tacos, you're in like the low 20s range. And the food was great. The atmosphere was great. You can get same day reservations, which I think is a big talk point on this top three.
Yeah.
I'm not going to bring up the things that, well, actually I am going to bring up one of the things that gets reservations 6 months out or 2 months out. But Paradiso 37, worth your time. You will not be disappointed with the food. I'm going to go with that since Matt took away my Coke Lounge.
I didn't take it away. You're really blaming a lot on me. So for
You were
my number
disappointed,
two,
I could
I'm
tell.
gonna go with this chef. I'm gonna go with T-Rex. Because I think my son would come out and punch me if I didn't put T-Rex on this list. So T-Rex, Rainforest Cafe meets dinosaurs.
Is exactly what it is.
I mean, it is what it is. But what it does do is it gives a good family meal. Lots of choices for kids, lots of choices for adults. Really cool setting if you're into that kind of thing. Lots of animatronic dinosaurs. The ice cave is freezing cold most of the time if you just like to go in somewhere and just freeze. So, but yeah, no, good menu. You've got your ribs, you've got pizzas, you got, just like I said, there's just a ton of different options. Pretty big menu when they are doing the full menu. But yeah, like I said, in the kin of Rainforest Cafe. They're owned by the same company. There's a Rainforest Cafe at Disney Springs as well that you can probably get basically the same menu at there as well. Also, not terribly hard reservations to get. So
It used to be.
Yeah, it used to be. And if you try and walk up, you're still probably going to run into, especially on lunch and dinner times, 2.5 to 4 hour waits for a table. So just got to keep that in mind. But a little pricey for the food you get, I feel like. It's a great dining plan meal, not a great pay out of pocket meal. So you can kind of take it at that, but still really good food. Not terrible food by any means. So my number two is going to be T-Rex, and we are going to wow you with a couple of number ones. But Peter, before you get to your number one, where can people find you at?
Here on Tuesday nights, most Tuesday nights, if I'm not busy, I'll be right here talking about Disney. Mostly on Facebook. Just come on in, find me, and we can start the conversation. Spring, it is time to book your spring break trips.
It is.
Especially those of you up north. Like, the cold weather is starting to come in waves. Just think about how amazing Disney would feel in March and April. Great time. I was actually talking to somebody today about this, and they were like, oh, yeah, well, hey, yeah, we're not going to book with a travel agent. We just decided to do it by ourselves. Or I had another person go, oh, yeah, we found this discount through, like AAA or some other type of a company. And I'm sitting here thinking, right, you got a 10% discount through AAA on a full price package. If you would have went with me, I probably would have found you hopefully a 15 to 25% off package. And the AAA person ain't going to wake up at 6 a.m. and book all your dining and give you all the insight and help you as you go. And I just thought, I get it. You're trying to save a quick buck. I don't know. I still think there is absolutely something to the travel agency business for like little getaways. Like I'm not gonna use a travel agent if I'm like going to Kings Island or going to like Branson, Missouri, or going out, I don't know, just going out to like California to go to a football game. I'm not gonna call it, but when you're spending a lot of money, boy, getting a knowledgeable hand on the wheel is not a bad idea. So I'd love to talk with you about your spring break plans. I've still got some room in my my kind of workload, if you will, for the time that I have to allot to this. January is pretty busy, but March and April still have quite a bit of space. So I'd love to talk to you and get that going for you. So anyway,
there you go.
My number one, everybody knows what my number one is.
It is. Yep. We all know. It was Shannon's number 2.
See, and she's only been there once.
Yeah.
Imagine if we didn't go on our bromance bring the wives trip.
Bring the wives trip.
Yeah, Shannon would never have experienced half the things she experienced. Anyway, so yeah, my number one, hands down. And then you better have what I think your number one is, or I'm going to be really mad that I didn't put it number 2. But we're going to find out here in just a minute. My number one is Chef Art Smith's Homecoming. This restaurant is fantastic. The portion sizes, it's good home cooking. You've got fried chicken. You've got just the mac and cheese is just amazing. You've got a wide variety of dishes. Everybody there is going to find something. Like when we went, I couldn't decide on anything, so I ended up just getting an appetizer platter, and I didn't hardly even eat it because everything is so good. Massive portion sizes, just fantastic food, and Chef Art Smith's Homecoming is so good. You are lucky if you can get a reservation to Chef Art Smith's right at that 60 days out. If you are going on a trip and you want to go to Disney Springs, that better be the first priority. Normally we'd go, oh yeah, you better run for like Space 220 and Topolino's. But if you want to do that on your first day, Chef Art Smith's, I just did this for a client the other day. The only thing I could get right away at 6 a.m. at 60 days out was 9:15 or 10 p.m. Because everything else.
Yeah.
Now you go 3, 4, 5 days into the trip. Absolutely, you can find any time of day you want. But Chef Art Smith's is worth the fact that it books up. It books up. If you try to check in day of, you're going to have a multi-hour wait. Absolutely. But it is worth every bit of it. The star. The food is phenomenal, but the star might be the moonshine.
Yes, the moonshine cocktails.
The moonshine cocktails are woo.
Now, on a side note, we went to the Chef Art Smith's in Chicago when we were up there, and it was not of the same quality. We were very disappointed with the Chef Art Smith's up at Navy Pier. So. So now very different menu. Chef Art Smith's Homecoming down in Florida, Chef Art Smith's Reunion in Chicago. So different restaurant, like I said, different feel. Just didn't have that same food, and yeah, it just wasn't the same. So no, Chef Art Smith's definitely would have made my list. I don't know if it makes my number one. But it definitely would have made my list if I didn't know that it was going to be your number one. So, and I knew it was going to be your number one. So, for my number one, before I say my number one, if you guys have an idea for a top 3, definitely go over to the website. It is down below us right now, patmdisneytravel.wixsite.com/planning. And send us an idea. Send us 31 ideas like we had a listener do a couple weeks ago. Whatever. And then if you think you have better ideas than us, put them in the comments, put them in the chat. Let other people know your favorites, because we're not everybody. There are a lot of different taste buds out there. My taste buds tend to go towards the Italian side. which is where my number one's going to go.
No!
Did you want to go Boathouse or Paddlefish on the number one?
No. Go ahead. Do yours.
So, my number one, Terralina Handcrafted.
It's a great restaurant.
It's a absolutely fantastic Italian restaurant. Kind of right in the middle of Disney Springs. But yeah, it's in this corner. Really, really good. Jabo. Hey, Jabo is who sent us the 31 top 3 ideas. So Jabo, thank you very much for all of your ideas. His were Chicken Guy, Raglan Road, and T-Rex. Coke Lounge would be up there if they had the magic to put those beverages into adult drinks. So
same thing, man. Same thing. Like, if I could still get my adult cocktails, Coke Lounge, Matt wouldn't have been able to talk me off of it. And Raglan Road was the one that I was hoping he was going to do. So I'm going to talk about Raglan Road. It's going to be my +1 once Matt finishes talking about how amazing Terralina is.
Terralina Handcrafted, very, very well done Italian meal. As far as very authentic, very large portions, great wine list, really fantastic setting. It just, all in all, it's like a very high class Italian restaurant, which is really cool. We've got a place called OP at our JW Marriott downtown. Very much the same ilk, very, very high end, open kitchen type restaurant, and just really, really fantastic food. So you can't go wrong with a lot of the things on the menu there. Pricey for Italian food, but very worth the price. You're still looking at your entrees being in that $30-ish range for good entrees. And then wine list, again, depending on how your wine taste is, bottles can get into the hundreds. So just be prepared for those types of pricing. But I mean, past that, just a fantastic, fantastic restaurant all around. So I'll let you have one bonus one since you're going to talk about Raglan. I'm going to do a +1 as well. Go ahead and touch on Raglan Road.
So these are our top 3.5 restaurants at Disney Springs. Yeah, Raglan Road, exactly right. I figured Matt would probably get there, and since he was being so generous to let me have Chef Art Smith's, I was thinking that perhaps Raglan Road would get into his list, so I was trying to be generous. Otherwise, that would have been my number 2. Paradiso 37 is a fantastic restaurant, all those things I said. But Raglan Road is wonderful. It is an Irish-style, like, pub, UK type island, UK island food, not UK, like, not. I say island and I immediately jump to, like Caribbean.
Yeah, not like University of Kentucky.
The UK. British island, right? Yeah, so the British island type foods, you got your bangers and mash, and you've got just, a whole bunch of stuff with potatoes and a whole bunch of stuff with sausages and a whole bunch of stuff with cabbage. And all of it is just absolutely wonderful. So good. But then what sets this one apart is most nights starting at 5 p.m. and even a little bit longer, so starting earlier than that on weekends, is the live Irish step dancers. Like, it is remarkable. It is awesome to see, especially if you can play a little hard to get. And, I really like a solid, like, 4:30 reservation at this restaurant, and then, or like a 4:15. And when I arrive, say, I'd like to see the stage, please. And then just wait for that table. But if you arrive at like a nice 4:15, wait for that table and get seated, then you can just sit there and watch the show as you're finishing up your food and sipping on your last cocktails. Other people have that idea, though, so it might not work. But I'm just saying, it's an idea. So Raglan Road absolutely deserves to be in this list for sure.
I'm gonna go a little bit off the restaurant path with mine.
Oh, you're going with the Coke Lounge. See,
no, I'm not. I'm gonna go with Amorette's Patisserie.
Oh, that's a good one.
Amorette's Patisserie is a very, very well done bakery that's kind of right at the front of Disney Springs, and it's kind of tucked in a corner, so you can really easily miss it. But really, really good if you're looking for like macaroons or some, not like Gideon's, just like super rich cookies, but like delicate desserts and delicate pastries and that kind of stuff. Emirates does a very, very good job with a lot of that stuff. Cupcakes, all that kind of stuff. They also have a cake decorating class that you can do. So you can sign up for it and you can go decorate your own Mickey kind of dome cake, which is a lot of fun. And they use Emirates in a lot of their tours as well. So they're multi-location tours. Like our Christmas warehouse tour ended at Emirates, and we decorated Christmas cookies there. So really cool place at the front of Disney Springs, and we gave you 9 locations to look at when it comes to Disney Springs. So thank you for joining us for this week's DPI Top 3. Like I said, if you do have any ideas on your top 3 of the restaurants, or any ideas for a top 3 that we're going to do in the future, definitely let us know in the comments, or go over to the website and let us know. Thank you guys all for watching the top 3 episode today. Hey, thanks for checking us out today. Don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons to help out the channel. Also, if you're looking for some more Disney content, check this out. I think you're going to like it.